Joey McGuire, James Blanchard, and Brian Nance continue to cook in the high school recruiting ranks as Texas Tech has landed yet another four-star offensive lineman, this time in Bryce Gilmore. Who is he? Well, we'll discuss how he got to Texas Tech, his skill set, and take a look at the 2026 recruiting class for the Red Raiders and where it currently stands. Hint, it's pretty damn good. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome into the Red and Black Report. I am your host, RC Maxfield. If y'all are excited about what Texas Tech is doing on the recruiting trail, all I'm going to ask you to do is simply like the video, because this Bryce Gilmore commitment happened very, very quickly. Now, obviously, behind the scenes, there was some work being done by James Blanchard, Brian Nance, whoever it was that was being the layer of the foundation for this commitment to happen. But I think we need to go back and look at just how we got here from really him being committed to Arkansas, decommitting, and now being committed to the Scarlet and Black. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is his recruiting profile. We'll look at it a little bit more in depth here in just a second, right? But I wanted y'all to at least see this and see that, hey, this is a top 175 player nationally, the 14th best offensive tackle, according to 247 Sports Composite. But if you look at 247's rankings just by themselves, he's a top 110 player and the 10th overall offensive tackle. We'll look at this in just a little bit more in depth. I want to start here, though. This is from Rivals, Steve Wiltfong, and you've got double S there. You got Sam Spiegelman as well, logging expert predictions for Texas Tech to land four-star offensive tackle Bryce Gilmore. He decommitted earlier today. Now, the timing of this post cannot go unnoticed. It was on September 11th, which was Thursday, right? So you had that. This happened very quickly. He decommits from Arkansas, and then literally the next day, he is in Lubbock, Texas. This from the Scarlet and Black Insider over on Twitter. Be sure to go check out the Scarlet and Black Insider. I mean, we're dropping news all the time, and basketball season's heating up, so you know we're dropping basketball news as well. But that being said, this is from Bryce Gilmore's Instagram. Happened very quickly, and yeah, I would like to know if those are actually 19 handwritten letters as well, Holden. But ball knowers know the Scooby-Doo fruit snacks are the best. I digress. Y'all aren't here for those takes. So again, before we look at his profile, right, a little bit more in depth, he decommits from Arkansas on Thursday. 24 hours later, he is in the 806 for an official visit. This happened very quickly. Now, I will say this. Remember what James Blanchard said in an interview before the season started, that if he identified players that he thought that were committed to other schools, but those schools were undervaluing them from a monetary standpoint, he was going to go in and be aggressive. Is it safe to say that's what happened with Bryce Gilmore? I think it's potentially that. Obviously, we don't know exactly, but this is a guy that was highly coveted, a guy that has multiple high-level offers, had been committed to Arkansas for a little bit of time. And you think about the process here. 2026 is right around the corner, right? Like, Bryce Gilmore is a candidate to be on campus when the fall semester is over. So when spring semester starts, he could be an early enrollee. That being said, let's go look at Bryce Gilmore and what Texas Tech is getting. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Top 175 player according to 247 Sports Composite, top 110 player according to 247 Sports Rankings individually, then a top 10 tackle according to 247 and a top 15 tackle according to their composite rankings. You see that he was crystal balled to Arkansas. I don't think that they went in and changed it, right, from that standpoint. And this is a guy from Prosper, a high football, just level at the high school recruiting ranks in terms of just, it seems like they're pumping out players left and right that are high level impact players at the D1 ranks. And he's 6'5", 297. I think it's in the realm of possibilities to say that he could get to 6'5", 6'6", 320 pounds. I think that is very fair, maybe even 325. You look at some of the offers here. You've got 40 offers. He was on 6 visits. They don't have Texas Tech at the top here because this happened very quickly. Very, very quickly. But some of the schools include Ole Miss, Arizona State, Vanderbilt, Arizona, and the aforementioned Arkansas. Texas Tech obviously in the mix there as well. Now, when it comes to 247 Sports and their rankings for Texas Tech in the sense of, well, the recruiting class, we're so good here at the Red and Black Report. We've got literally this video coming out before they could add Bryce Gilmore to the recruiting class. So this is going to be better, probably top 25 once he's updated there. But you look at it, you've got now 5 4-star or higher players according to 247 Sports. So you got Webb, Martin, Campbell, who had a big-time day out at Friendship out there in Wolford. My goodness, had 7 catches, I believe, for 200 yards. I mean, he was an absolute bona fide star on the gridiron on Friday night, was Chase Campbell. And then, obviously, a guy that needs no introduction to Texas Tech fans, Felix Ojo. So you've got a guy here in Bryce Gilmore that will be your second highest ranked recruit in this recruiting class, according to 247 Sports. And we've talked about this multiple times here on the channel. I absolutely love how James Blanchard and really the Texas Tech evaluation department, when it comes to players, is going about being aggressive in the trenches, okay? The Big 12, unlike the SEC and Big 10, there's not a lot of great offensive lines. Now, you're going to see some here and there, right? That's not to say that there isn't. Texas Tech has a great defensive line. Utah has a great defensive line, right? Or offensive line, excuse me. Like, there's definitely good lines. But in terms of that quintessential, like, oh, that has the chance to be the best offensive line in America, the Big 12 typically doesn't have that, right? And they typically don't have that on the defensive lines. So James Blanchard knows that they're going to be able to find diamonds in the rough when it comes to skill position players in the great state of Texas when it comes to high school recruiting. The hardest thing to develop, maintain, and recruit, period, is offensive linemen and defensive linemen, most notably offensive and defensive linemen that are impactful. So they're using their funds to go out and get guys that can make early impacts in the trenches. You think about it from a 2026 standpoint. I already mentioned Felix Ojo. Now you've got Bryce Gilmore. In 2027, you have the #1 overall player in the class right now, if he doesn't reclassify, and LaDamian Guyton, an edge. Then you've got Cooper Hackett as well, another 5-star offensive lineman. Texas Tech is being very smart and strategic when it comes to where they're allocating their funds in the high school ranks, and they're doing so in the trenches, right? Or at meaningful positions that they know if they hit on these guys, they're going to make a sizable impact. No pun intended, okay? But I love what they're doing here. And Bryce Gilmore is just the latest guy to know when it comes to Texas Tech recruiting as the Red Raiders strike gold yet again. This time flipping Bryce Gilmore, a former Arkansas commitment, to the Scarlet and Black after an official visit during the Oregon State weekend for the Red Raiders. They land yet another 4-star offensive lineman, and they just seemingly just continue to cook on the recruiting trail. This one, Bryce Gilmore. I'm really excited about Felix Ojo. Don't get me wrong, but Bryce Gilmore really reminds me of like a Howard Sampson. He is a big, big man. 6'5", 300 pounds already. He's 17 years old. This guy puts on another 25 pounds. I'm telling you, he can be 6'5", 6'6", on the left side and just be an absolute anchor for you, or really an anchor for you anywhere on the offensive line. If you want him on the left side, the right side, it don't matter. I think his skill set is going to translate perfectly to what Texas Tech wants to do offensively. And the Red Raiders go out, evaluate someone that maybe was undervalued from a monetary standpoint, it looks like, be aggressive, and go get their guy this time in Bryce Gilmore, the 2026 4-star offensive tackle from Prosper. And the Red Raiders now have a top 25 class, according to 247 Sports. All right, that's going to do it for today's video. Again, all I'm going to ask you to do if you want 100% free content and breaking news videos around your Red Raiders is 2 simple things. Simply like the video and hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free. We've already got over 12,650 Red Raiders here on the channel. Why not add more? Tell your friends about it. Share it, right? Let me know on social. I'll even maybe give you a shout out if you retweet one of the videos. But again, it's 100% free. And if you don't end up liking the content later on, I totally understand. I'm not for everybody, but at least give us a shot here on the Red and Black Report. All right, I'm RC Maxfield reminding you, as always, stay safe and Recom Tech.